A Catholic pro-lifer in the United Kingdom who was arrested earlier this month for silently praying near an abortion business is receiving messages of support from both sides of the abortion debate. This video shows Isabel Vaughn Spruce talking with police before and during the arrest in Birmingham, England. Even though she wasn't holding a sign or a placard, she was charged with 4 counts of breaking a public space protection order. We go now to Isabel Vaughn Spruce, director of March for Life UK, who was arrested for silently praying near an abortion clinic. Isabel, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. If you don't mind, can you tell us exactly what happened and what was your reaction when you were arrested?
Sure, Tracy. Yeah, I'm still taking it all in myself. So maybe just to give a little bit of background, in September this year, the local council in Birmingham, which is where I was at the time, brought in what's called a PSPO, a public space protection order. And these are orders which formerly would have been used for things like dog fouling and antisocial behaviour, drunken disorderly behaviour. But they're now being used to create zones around abortion centres where certain actions are prohibited. So just to make it clear, it doesn't ban individuals, it bans behaviour. So one of the behaviours it would have banned around the abortion centre was protesting, and it particularly named prayer and counselling as forms of protest. Now, 4 times I entered this zone and I silently prayed near the closed abortion centre. And on the 4th occasion, the police arrived when I was standing there just silently praying in my head. And they asked if I was protesting, and I made it clear I wasn't protesting. They asked if I was praying, and I said I might be silently praying, but I hadn't said anything at all out loud. They then proceeded to arrest me, did a very thorough search and confiscated everything I had on, in my pockets, even my tissues, took me to the police station, locked me in a cell for a while, and then proceeded to interview or interrogate me, however you'd like to see it. And I was asked what I was praying about. They wanted to actually know the thoughts that were in my head. I was eventually released on bail, but I was subsequently recalled to the police station, and I've now been charged on 4 counts of breaching the PSPO. So I've now got to go to court on the 2nd of February because of that. So, yeah, the thought crime is now seeming to become a real thing here in the UK, sadly.
Absolutely. It is so very concerning. Where does your case stand right now? What happens next?
So, yeah, as I say, on the 2nd of February, I'll be going to a magistrate's court in Birmingham, and that's where we'll hear the next stage of it. And obviously, depending on what happens there will depend on how further this may go. But I really want to encourage people to pray about that. And also in England, we are concerned that the government are trying to bring in national buffer zones. So that would mean every abortion centre in our country would have a zone around it, very similar to what this existing zone is in Birmingham that bans certain behaviour. And clearly, we all agree that harassment, intimidation should not ever be happening outside abortion centres or indeed anywhere. But this is, going to end up banning things like prayer, offering women alternatives, offering leaflets of information where they can get help. I mean, in Birmingham, I know well over 100 women who've accepted help that's been offered to them at the gates of abortion centres and have, kept their child because of that, very warmly accepted that help. And I've had the great pleasure and the blessing of meeting many of those children who are alive today. I've also had the great sadness of meeting many women who've continued with abortions because they felt there was no options available to them. And that's something that should just not be happening in today's times, that women should be having abortions because they just don't know where else to turn. But this will continue to happen and will happen in increasing amounts if people are banned from being there, offering help and even offering a silent prayer.
Yeah. And Isabel, I know you said that you were receiving a lot of support for this. But I know there are some in the media that are saying that you were arrested for not complying with the police request to leave that area. How do you respond to that?
Yeah, so just to make it clear, as I say, a PSPO can't ban a person. PSPOs ban behaviour. And as I made it very clear to the police, I was not there to protest. Personally, I never protest outside abortion centres. I do believe that people should have a freedom to protest, but that wasn't what I was doing. I was silently just standing quietly, well, not even quietly, silently praying inside the privacy of my own mind by myself. If that's a protest, then how do we say that anybody standing, doing up their shoelaces, stop to look at their phone? What constitutes a protest in the end? So to say I was standing there, praying, and that's breaking a PSPO because of the prayers I'm saying, that would be really, really concerning. And no police officer has a right to try and stop somebody saying their prayers, wherever they might be.
Isabel, before I let you go, we're almost out of time, but I'm curious, how you're holding up and also how your faith is helping you deal with all of this.
Well, my faith is a central part of who I am, and that's what often drives me to help people. Apart from just the human aspect of it, I do believe that every child is made in the image and likeness of God. Every human being, which is conceived, has a purpose as part of God's will. And yeah, my faith is really sustaining me, and I've been so touched by the prayers that people are being offered for this cause and being offered for me in this situation. And that gives me an enormous amount of strength and encouragement. So, if you're somebody who's prayed about this, thank you so much. And I really, really mean that. That means an awful lot to me.
Well, Isabel, we're going to continue to pray for you. We're going to follow your story. And please keep us updated. God bless you.